I gotta churn ice cream for a little while, so what can I do in these 15-minute increments?
Catch up on your Netflix series.
I was watching Netflix doing laundry and churning ice cream today. I feel like a colonial, like, woman, you know,
right.
doing all my things, except Netflix didn't exist back then, you know?
Yum!
Hey guys, so we just made our awesome like PINA colada floats, and yes. So now we're gonna do a little Q&A for you guys. You guys kind of like sent us a few questions, and we're kind of just gonna answer them for you.
So our first question from Twitter: what made you want to start your blog? Savannah?
Okay, so it's kind of crazy, but I just kind of grew up like in the kitchen baking. My uncle, he loved to bake, and I always just kind of like watch him and be like fascinated, like, what are you doing? And he had diabetes, so he couldn't really like eat anything that he made, and so I was really fascinated with that and like finding substitutes for things, and so I started baking myself. And then family members just kind of like started asking me to like bake and like bring things to parties. And then one day, like, my cousin asked me like, hey, like, why don't you just film a DIY and like put it on YouTube of you making this cake that you brought? And I was like, sure, like, why not? So I kind of just got inspired to do that, and now I'm doing it. So
cool.
Yeah, what about you?
You make me sound like such the alcoholic. Like, you have this poor grandpa with diabetes, and I wanted to be thin and pretty in college, but drink a lot. So, quite the contrast. I started at STSU in 2008. I went undeclared, but kind of knew I wanted to be a nutritionist. And then when I was like deciding to be a nutritionist and go through the process of maybe becoming a dietitian, it hit me that it's really, really difficult to get people to change, and that I wasn't really going to make a huge change and impact on the obesity epidemic, and kind of came to this conclusion that, you know, you can't necessarily make people perfect, but you can definitely teach them how to do better. So my blog was kind of more of a realization of, you know, people need help realizing that making some small changes isn't hard. You just need to know the tools you need. You don't have to stop drinking, you just have to be mindful of what and how much you're drinking.
I completely agree with that.
You can have healthy eating, the party doesn't have to stop, because, I mean,
right.
When you get to the end of life and you've eaten really, really healthy, and hopefully you're really old, like, what will you have really regretted? Nothing, if you enjoyed all of the fruits of life.
So my side question to you is, in regards of combining like partying and healthier eating, what's your mentality when you go to a party in regards of like healthier habits?
When you are going to go to a party, be sure you eat a real meal. Okay, salad is not really a real meal when you're going to go out and party.
No.
You
I
can
have
ask
friends that do that.
My poor best friend, we bought the most expensive tickets to a Lady Gaga concert. We pre-gamed really, really hard, and she ate a salad. And let's be honest, she didn't remember any of the Lady Gaga concert.
Of course.
And to this day, she kicks herself for that. And so, like, it's things like that when you're learning about, you know, well, what did I do wrong? Like, why did I have such a bad night? It's like, you know, eat a good meal before you go out. When you make your drink choices, like, avoid the things that are of a color that you don't see in nature. So blue curacao, you know, in your Adios mofo. Just stay away from that one. Really sugary cocktails, not kind of a no-no. If you're going to drink something, kind of stick with it through the whole night. You don't have to drink shots all night. Shots are a one-way ticket to Blackout Town. Other than that, I mean, you know, if you really want to know which cocktails are better for you, you should check out my blog. I wrote the history and the components of every liquor that you could drink.
So next question. What is the most challenging part of making your blogs and YouTube channel? Time and money, I would say. Those are the biggest challenges in regards of putting things together like these DIYs that we just showed you guys on how to do this. I kind of started off with YouTube. I do have a website now where I'm just starting to incorporate food blogging and everything like that, but I kind of started off with like DIY baking tutorials, stuck to that, hence SavvySweets. If I could like stop time and then just have forever as much as I like possibly could at like that hour and then just like play it, like that'd be great. All right,
so challenging for me. Okay, so honestly, this is gonna sound like very technical, but the challenging part for me is I want to give all my readers all this information, all the information I could possibly give you, and I have so much like going on up here sometimes that I'll get 3 pages into something that I'm like, wait, why have I just talked about the benefits of vitamin C and heart disease for 3 pages worth of writing? Nobody cares. Do all the dirty work for you, which is great for my readers. But sometimes they get too lost in that, and it's like hard to decide what information just isn't essential to my reader. But I'm just like, oh, but they need to know everything. But you don't need to know everything, unfortunately.
You get kind of carried away.
So I get carried away. That's the most
Yeah.
challenging part, is to know when to cut the information, or how to like take a scientific like explanation and make it into something that is like tangible to my readers.
Right.
So I that's probably my biggest challenge. My biggest challenge is also finding time to drink while writing so much. Can I pick the next question that we got?
Go for it.
Let's go with, what is your favorite post so far?
Ooh, I like that one. I would probably say, just because I am like a Disney obsessed freak. I made this roll cake based off of the Disney movie Tangled, which is like Rapunzel.
Yeah.
And I like became obsessed with learning how to print patterns into cakes. And ever since that, I've made like probably like 10 different templates on like, how can I put this in a cake? How can I do this? And so I've become obsessed with imprinting things into just desserts. Like anything.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I'm actually going to come out with another DIY. I learned how to imprint like patterns into cheesecakes. So I'm going to come out with mini cheesecakes with different patterns for you guys. Might be Disney themed. I don't know.
I want cheesecake.
I don't know.
So good right now.
So
I got some
Yes.
munchies. I think my favorite post I've had so far is about healthy snacks. I have sat in a lot of lecture halls at conferences about snacking and how the snacking industry has changed in the U.S. But through my research to write my article about healthy snacking, I wanted to understand which snacks were the most popular. And some of the stuff that I read about was quite shocking. And while I live in this weird bubble where sometimes I forget about nutrition from the regular person's standpoint, because I know all the facts, which is both a gift and like a curse, because you know better. And it's like, oh, I know better than to eat that. But I really enjoyed writing that article, and I felt it was really informative, and I felt it was really helpful too, because I did review a lot of different snacks options that I felt were better, but that were still in the same category. So that I'm not saying you can't have your favorite snacks, America, but what I'm saying is you gotta improve just a little bit. There was one thing that made the list: nuts. Nuts are good for you, for the most part. It's just that, you know,
Trail mix.
in America, we can't just have a nut. We gotta have nuts rolled in sugar, rolled in this. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm going to pick the next question.
Yeah, go for it, girl.
Besides like baking and blogging, like what other hobbies do you guys have? The sounds, I know, which is
I
so
work,
dumb.
I work, I sleep, I eat.
Like, what do I do?
and the very
Like,
basic things
this
that you
is
say on Tinder,
terrible.
you know?
Like, well, I work, I have a day job, and let's see, I have like a huge family, so like my mom, she's actually Filipino, I'm a mutt, so I'm like 8 different things. That side of the family is super huge. We probably have like 3 to 4 birthdays a month, and I go to like a ton of family birthdays. I probably like cater for a majority of them, to be honest. So I'm always like at crazy family Filipino parties. They just like turn up, sing karaoke till like 4
Filipino
in the morning.
parties are the best
like,
parties.
We eat lumpia, we eat pancit.
Pancit.
Yes! Kind of like in addition to baking, working out. Like that's where I just like get out all my stuff. I do like Zumba 3 times a week actually.
Damn.
So, hell yeah. I'm on that fast track.
Getting that Zumba on.
Yes. But I also like to like go out with my friends and have a good time too. So like,
yeah,
I get those like health tips
you gotta
from,
read my blog.
yes, getting those health tips from Kaitlin. So going out and having that healthy lifestyle, I'm all about that.
Let's see. For me,
yeah.
Other than working, sleeping, eating, I do research for my blog, which luckily is usually making delicious food and drinking delicious drink.
Yes. Cheers to that. Like.
But when I'm not doing that, I enjoy traveling a lot. Last year I spent 40 days in Europe. I went to Hawaii last year for a week with my friends, did some snorkeling, kind of hung out on the beach. I'm going back to Costa Rica for my birthday for a week in June. I like traveling a lot. It's a lot of fun.
Traveling is fun. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't even say that. Yeah, I've become obsessed with traveling and just trying food and writing about the food that I tried. If I could just travel and write and eat for the rest of my life, I'd do that. I think
most people would definitely do that.
So, eat food, write, travel, get fat.
Yeah.
Be happy.
But beyond traveling, like when I'm home, I mean, I kick it with my friends. We threw a surprise birthday party last weekend. I went fossil digging at the end of last year in Bakersfield.
That's cool.
They dug up like shark's teeth and whale vertebrae. My philosophy on life lately has just been, if it's something I haven't done and it sounds interesting, why not do it? Because, you know, I don't have a bucket list, but, you know, just keep checking things off the theoretical bucket list.
Do you want to pick the next question?
Okay, I have a question for you.
Oh, man. Okay.
Okay.
Go for it.
If a beginner who's so afraid of the kitchen and the oven wants to make a baked good, what would you say would be the easiest baked good to approach as a first timer?
Okay. So, first and foremost, I would honestly say, like, if you're starting off baking and, like, you want to make something super amazing. Like, I know for a fact, like, cake pops. Those are, like, super popular. Okay, Starbucks sells them, you know, whatever, and everyone is, like, all about cake pops. Don't start with cake pops. Those are the hardest things you will ever make. I will tell you, when I first started making, the first time I ever started making cake pops, really embarrassing. I didn't have like a styrofoam block to like put the cake pops in to dry. And so me and my friend, I did this with my friend. We like, this is like gonna sound so stupid. We like took a piece of parchment paper and
put them upside down.
Well, we were putting them upside down, but then we initially thought to stick them, so embarrassing, we thought to stick them in the ground because we're like, we don't have like a freaking like solid block to put them in. So we put a piece of parchment paper down and put them in the ground. I will put a picture of that like here or something to show you guys. It's so embarrassing. But like from then on, like I was like, no. I would say start with something simple like cookies. Start with something simple. Yeah. And when I say like cookies, I'm talking about like chocolate chip cookies, sugar cookies, not macaroons, not macarons. Like, no. Those are tough. So, cookies. There you go. So I have one last question for you, actually, Kaitlin.
Yes.
So what are some like quick and healthy snacks that like anyone on a daily basis that is just busy on the go, they could just have and make?
So I'm gonna answer this question and then you have three options. If you're the super health nut, you're totally down to be like the angel, I suggest getting carrot sticks and hummus palette. And I mean, if you don't like carrots, you can also go celery, you can go zucchini sticks, you can go a lot of different things, but basically just a vegetable or even like a fruit, technically cucumber. You can go cucumber on that one too. Cucumber and hummus, or carrot and hummus, or celery and hummus. That's like the you're an angel of the nutritional world snack. Now if you're somewhere in the middle, I would say some kind of protein bar with like, you know, nuts, like a Kind bar. Something like that is really easy to go to. For the most part, the healthy fats in them are really good for you. If you want a snack that's on the go, that's like kind of good, but like mostly bad, you're going to be shocked by this, I'd say a smoothie. A lot of smoothies can be really high in sugar.
But most...
You don't have to stop drinking, you just have to be mindful of what and how much you're drinking.
I completely agree with that.
Conciseness
Same
is
thing.
difficult. It's the reaching challenge.
Yeah.